What's up guys, this is Scher talking, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, let's run Spiral Corridor Floor 280. This is a very hard stage because these enemies have a lot of damage and there are also requirements for so many different things. Well, the vampire is the leader and it will have some defenses till you kill the minions. You could theoretically kill the vampire together with the minions, but that becomes too dangerous in my opinion. And the vampire's minions have fire and shadow attacks alongside physical types, and then the vampire has other elements as well. I believe it's better to protect versus the vampire because, well, on the long run, you're gonna face the vampire for more turns. Now, you have to have a lot of defense boosts right on the start. That's how you protect. A lot of defensive passives if possible. Since the enemies are weak to pierce, sun, and heat, well, there are some very good nukers that can be used here. For example, Shaw also works, but I wanted to highlight Forneus, Therese, and Katarina together. Why? Because Forneus increases cold damage. Therese attacks multiple times. Katarina, well, has a chase, but she has very good passives that will trigger if you equip your characters accordingly. I'm using the Rising Phoenix EX formation because there are some direct attacks, so we are going to counter with Hannibal, and I am using the Rising Phoenix EX as well because of the will buff. There are moments in this fight where the enemy will buff break you, defy weakness, and still use some skills, and that can lead to problems. Beauty can also help you increase your ailment resistances, but, well, there are not that many moments in the fight where this will happen, so that 50% will buff from Rising Phoenix EX already works. Forneus already has other ways to handle the situation of the fight, like he removes debuffs by the end of turn, he already buffs all status, he gives BP, and then Therese is very useful because she will then also attack multiple times. She buffs Endurance and Will when she's attacking, gives defense boost, very defensive unit that can also do damage, and I'm bringing Hawke as well because, well, I got him recently and he rocks in this fight because of the many attack and defense boosts that he can apply. He also chases with a skill that can buff, and alongside many things. I'm gonna use Pirate's Command on the start of the fight to give extra support. And Katarina is here as well because she triggers way too many different effects if you are resisting. And I try to apply resistance to all of my characters, but Hannibal needs extra slash. Let me just fix that because sometimes I switch around the characters and forget to fix them all. But Hannibal is here also because of buff break. There is buff break in this fight, because the enemy will keep casting lots of intelligence buffs, and that can be a problem, so that you will eventually get inflicted with ailments. So try to resist that, and use accessories that increases ailment resistance anyway. Hannibal is good because he applies attack and defense boosts with chances, and you should inherit Stardust Plus for the buff break. So this is the squad. I can talk about some characters that can be used here in replacement. J-Mew can be used for debuff, for example. He can take Katarina place, I believe, or Hannibal place even. I don't think that you need to place Hawke in the center, but if you are thinking about drawing his attacks towards him to protect others, it also works, but he's fragile. There is Silver, but there is a problem in this fight where the enemy will counter on odd turns, so I prefer to go with indirect attacks. Indirect attacks will trigger attack boosts for them, but if you have too many defense boosts and high status, it won't be a problem. Leon also works super well. I believe that even Darius can work well here as well. Goddess can be used for damage, but I'll be making a squad with Goddess in a different video. So, well, I guess that's the case. Let us go. Okay, let us go with this, and let's check bosses so that we can understand what was happening. Well, these enemies we use mostly indirect attacks, but some direct attacks as well. In odd turns, the minions will be countering direct attacks with Suck Blood, and if you don't have enough defense boosts, this can use some damage. They will cast attack boosts to the enemy squad if you attack them with indirect on even turns, and they also cast hit ups on even turns and also removes debuffs every turn. The difference is that the boss is much different. You will have to face different attacks, they are much stronger, The boss does not have the indirect effect, but it has a guard. And once you kill the minions, it's gonna use this skill called Suck Blood Madness that will remove your buffs, self-buff, and then right after you start choosing attacks that can apply ailments. So, well, it is very bad because we don't have ailment resistance buffer here, like building on this squad. So, we have to use the Rising Phoenix Axe formation just because of that. And many of my attackers have random targets, so they will actually be attacking minions, boss, we don't know. I have to use Spirit Command on start as well, because that will give me extra defense, and I can cast Water Fan Flow on Hawke so that he has better defenses. Therese will use Frozen Arrows, and she takes at least 4 turns, if I'm not mistaken, to get into her full potential, because she has to use the skill 3 times. Second turn, she doesn't have enough PP. Then after that is, okay, Pirate's Command is going to give a very good start. The biggest problem is that when you kill a minion, it's gonna use that skill that I said, and will cast the Fire Weakness on you as well. Fire Weakness on you? No. On boss, and buff break on you, so that you will be on 0 buffs. So really care about your equipments is here. Have to bring ailment resistance stuff. You're gonna be doomed. Start super slow because our characters take time to build. Also, many of their attacks are not AoE. Hawke is better when the enemy is using AoE attacks. But we'll have to wait a little. I can use Great Axe Flash because this will cast a morale up. Flash Shot. Wash him for news. Okay. He's not one of my damage dealers. Buff break for single target will happen. It will usually be on your center unit of the Rising Phoenix Axe formation if you're using that one. But it can also land on other characters. As long as it's not on Therese, that's okay. The good thing about Hannibal is that he can apply attack and defense boost even when he counters. Overdrive for everyone. Arrow stings. Peering Schwert. Quick spin. Water in. Frozen arrows. Now that Therese attacks more, you cannot see who's she attacking. So you have to try to use your targetable attacks on the minion that has higher HP. So that you try to kill them both on the same turn, so that you only trigger the effects once. The effects that I said were boss will buff break you, will then self buff and try to apply ailments. We're barely doing any damage to the vampire leader. If Therese gets hit to only twice, she already has enough overdrive gauge when she's fully ready. She's still not fully ready. So, yeah. Needs to use her skill tree once more. The top one has higher HP, so we're gonna attack that one. Time for a fourfold vortex. It's random. Frozen arrows. Hawke and Therese work super well together. Getting to OD every single turn with Therese allows her to stack a lot of cold attack boosts because of Forneus. Dark Wash on Forneus and on Hannibal. It's okay. Well, his damage was really decreased. But now on turn 5, we'll have everyone on overdrive. Damage will be finally much better. Let us go. Everyone's top minion has much higher HP. Therefore, full vortex, frozen arrows. These enemies will probably die by turn 7 or 8. Try to kill them together. Attacking the bottom minion much more than the top minion. Hawke's gonna help a little, not much. Bottom one again. Okay, top minion. Needs some damage. Bottom one as well. Two AoEs means Therese is on overdrive again. Her damage now will be very high, but she still won't kill them. I suppose she will start with 900,000 damage. Let's see. Yes! 1 million now. Oh, now she's attacking the top one more than the others. That is okay. Hey, just the top one now. I'm worried. I'm worried. This turn, we're gonna use the extra chase attack that hits row and then column. We are getting so many attack boosts, but we are also getting so many defense boosts because of Therese and even Hannibal and Katarina. All working together here. No! Lost so many buffs. Actually, that's not totally terrible because I kind of don't know if I will be able to kill them on this turn 7. It's better to stretch to turn 8. She lost so many buffs. Ah, they now have similar HP. Oops, arrow stings. Very short. I'll even target the boss to not get them to very different HP. You'll know only after the attacks. Okay, Therese, you don't need to kill them now. We are in a dangerous situation here. Great. We are all alive. This is a good turn to use Pirate Command again, because, well, boss will buff break us and do much more damage. So many indirect attacks. Therese is gonna finish then. I will use Stardust Plus now on Vampire. I don't know if he will be faster or not than the enemy, and I will have to start using this. Pirate's Command. And Pass Veil. Therese, finish then for me. He'll probably start with, I don't know, 900,000 damage again. She's never buff broken. She can do as much as 1.4 million per hit. On medium left. Therese. What are you doing, Therese? We need to finish the other one. Okay, we have Stardust Plus with Hannibal. Amazing. Now Vampire will try to apply ailments. We'll be safe. Problem is that it self buffs in that moment, and if you don't buff break, you may get a lot of ailments, especially paralyze. Okay, now boss is just here by itself, and we're gonna use Stardust every time that we check that there's no status buffs. Now there is status buff, so Stardust. I don't need to use Overdrive with everyone yet. Time for a Great Axe Flash, I guess. Actually, no. Let's buff. It's better. Therese needs to get hit twice in order to get to OG again. This was a strange turn. But Vampire will now start taking much more damage from attacks. And still counters on odd turns, but the attack boost from indirect attacks on even turns will not exist anymore. There will be turns where we won't have OG with Therese because it just doesn't attack as much. Check Vampire has status buffs, doesn't. It's then time to use Arrow Stings for more damage. This time I can use Great Axe Flash. Damage is normal now. You're not seeing the guard effect on boss anymore. It means that Therese is gonna do full damage, and this is not going to last for too long. Think like 14 turns. 15 turns at most. That's nice. Sonic Boom is AoE. Only one AoE is not enough for Therese. Has to be 2. And we can still use this same skill again. Back to Ruin Splitter, Tempest Veil, Frozen Arrows. Well, 3 hits. It was 1 million total. 1.5 million? It's not really bad. All cards are doing damage, just Forneus that doesn't do much. Cards on Overdrive means it's a combo. Vampire doesn't have buff status yet. It's at 14 turns, no, maybe 15 turns. Well, if Therese gets to G twice in a row, 14 is still possible. Sonic Boom, 1 AoE. Therese. Oh, no, one more on Therese, please. Therese. No. I'll still use Overdrive with Hawke because he buffs. The more he buffs, the more Therese does as well. And it's 50% status buffs on Overdrive, 30% from the skill and 20% from the chase. Look, that was already 1 million damage. Oh hey, we can actually do in 14 turns. Self-buff it now. It's your end now, Vampire. Release. That will be a time for Stardust. Well, I can even cast Pirate's Command again. That won't be needed. Well, that's a hard fight. 280 is not easy for most people, but I will be showcasing other squads as well in the future. So, if you don't have these characters, wait for new videos as well. At least one more video will come. And that's that. Vampire is dead after so much. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't. And if you want to support the channel, there are links in the description. I hope to see you soon in the next video or live stream. And don't forget to share on the comment section if you use a different squad. Bye.